Welcome to today's show, Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Burgess, passionate, inspirational speaker, author, poet, and entrepreneur. Good morning, and welcome to Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. Today is Wednesday, October 10th. I want to give a great big thank you to those of you listening in today, and here's a great big shout out to all of you listening around the world. I'm delighted and so grateful that you tuned in. I sure hope you're enjoying a fabulous day today and that you're having a fantastic week, because you know what? In the grand song of the universe, life is so very short. It's short and sweet and oh so precious. So I hope you're making a difference in your own life, because when you do, you also make a difference in someone else's life. Now, a lot of folks want to make their life count for something, and they ask me, Dr. Gloria, how do you do that? Well, it's really simple, very simple. You make your life count day by day, step by step, moment by moment, smile by smile, every single day, 365, 24/7. That's what Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count is all about. You can learn more about Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count by visiting the Gloria Burgess website. That's GloriaBurgess.com. That's the Gloria Burgess website, GloriaB as in boy, URGESS.com, or by visiting Facebook. That's Facebook.com/DR for Doctor, DR, Gloria Burgess, PhD /. Now, on today's show, I want to talk with you about passion and purpose, topics that are very close to my heart. Specifically, we're going to focus on a new way to look at passion and purpose and how they're linked to your core identity. In other words, today's show is all about what on earth am I here for? And how might I bring my unique gifts forward in my life and work and in my relationships? Now, to help us address these really wonderful, burning questions, I have a very special guest on the show today, and her name is Elena Love. Elena is a person of influence and an expert in helping us understand who we are and what on earth we're here for. And she's also deeply passionate about her work and so very inspiring. Now, Elena is a leader who makes a difference in her own life and in the lives of so many others throughout the world through her work with passion and purpose. I met Elena about a dozen or so years ago. We were both attending a leadership conference in Canada on a beautiful retreat at a wonderful retreat center in British Columbia. And when I heard her speak about her work, she was on fire about it. So I can't wait to tell you more about my colleague and friend, Elena Love. Elena is the co-author of the best-selling book, The Purpose-Linked Organization. The Purpose-Linked Organization. And the subtitle is How Passionate Leaders Inspire Winning Teams and Great Results. Isn't that a wonderful title? For the past 18 years, Elena has devoted herself to creating programs to support leaders, now that's all of us, right, whether we're in the workplace or at home, to support leaders and to support team development, right, or family development. Her specific focus is on employee purpose, passion, and well-being. Now, Elena is an alumna of the University of Michigan. Go Blue! Yes, I'm a proud U of M alumna too. Elena is a graduate of U of M's Ross School of Business Change Leadership Program. Since she graduated, she served as a leadership columnist for the Bloomberg Business Week, the Washington Post, and Harvard Business Review online. One of her many pursuits is writing, of course. She enjoys writing a popular monthly blog for Smart Brief on leadership. Last year, her blog was one of the most widely read columns. Another one of Miss Love's passions is research. With a research team from the University of Michigan, her organization, which is called Purpose-Linked Consulting, developed what they call the Passion Profiler. Now, what is that, you might ask? Well, like the name suggests, the Passion Profiler is an online tool that identifies and measures passions and how our passions are revealed in the context of work. Elena's clients include Fortune 500 companies, government and military organizations such as NASA, the Department of Defense, the U.S. Army, and the EPA. Now, for those of you who don't know what the EPA is, because you may be international or you don't know what that is, it's the Environmental Protection Agency. Elena's upcoming book is called Passionality. Passionality. I love that title. This new book explores the art and science of well-being. It also provides tools for bringing purpose and passion into our daily lives. So Elena's new work takes us beyond the workplace into the other wonderful parts of our lives. Now, during my conversation with her, you'll hear more about Elena's passion and purpose. You'll also hear about how she was in a place in her career where she seemed to have the world at her feet, after being offered what many of us would have considered a dream job. I'll let her tell you the rest of the story. You know what? In many ways, Elena's outlook on life and her work pulls together the many threads of what my own life and work are all about. You've heard me talk about these threads and themes on this show, the themes of authenticity, integrity, hope, passion, purpose, and possibility. Can I just tell you something? Elena and I had a wonderful, wonderful conversation, and I'm so excited to have this amazing leader with us today. This is going to be a fantastic show. You don't want to miss a single word. So grab your earbuds, put on your walking shoes, or grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee or a nice cool glass of water and relax in your favorite chair. You're going to want to take notes today. We're going to have a great time. Now, before I jump into today's show, I want to take just a moment to welcome you. If you're just joining us, I'm your host, Dr. Gloria. This is Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. I'd like to extend a special welcome to those of you joining my show, or if you're joining Talk Network Radio for the very first time. Let me tell you, you are in for a real treat. I'm excited to have you listening today, and I'm deeply honored that you've allowed me to be part of your day, so you can be inspired by ideas and resources to make your life count. Today's program is all about passion and purpose and discovering your core identity as a human being, as a person, and as a leader. I want to welcome my guest, Elena Love. Hi, Elena. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Well, it's such an honor to host you. And I wondered if you'd begin by telling us a little bit about yourself, Elena, so that our listeners can just get to know you, and then how you got started in this incredible work. What was the spark for you with regard to passion and purpose and all of the gifts that you bring to that?
Okay. Well, it's like all roads, long and winding, that led me to the work that I'm doing. But I suppose I could describe myself as a former research scientist and a recovering HR executive. I spent a number of years working in a large multinational pharmaceutical company, first as a research scientist in basic research. Then I moved into the clinical research area, overseeing the clinical trials on what's now known as Pepcid, the anti-ulcer compound, and then made this crazy jump into HR because it looked like a really interesting place to learn about drug development from conception in the laboratory all the way to market. And it was a phenomenal learning experience, just understanding the business side of the industry as well as the research side of the industry. And I had an incredible 11, 12 years in that organization. I was fortunate enough to move up the ranks pretty quickly, and I became an executive director of human resources and was the only woman ever to have reached that level in that particular function at that time, and interestingly enough, the only person of color. So I felt, a fairly heavy responsibility of setting the groundwork that needed to be done for other women, for other people of color who wanted to aspire to an executive level inside a large multi-billion-dollar company, and had great success in that role, and got to the point where, despite the fact that when I joined the company I never thought I would ever leave, I got to the point in that role where I, in fact, felt it's really time for me to leave. And I was shocked when I reached that conclusion, and it came very suddenly during a conversation that I was having with my then boss, who was providing me with my performance appraisal for that particular year, which was glowing. They were all good things. And he explained to me during that performance appraisal that I was in the succession plan as a replacement for him when he left that job, which should have left me feeling utterly breathless and giddy. Because this, of course, is what you work for, right? To hear those words that tell you that you're somehow going to be in this wonderful role where you have a lot of autonomy, a lot of responsibility, but the opportunity to shape the function in the way you feel it's important to shape it. And, oh, by the way, you'll be reporting to the CEO, and you'll have a big salary and great stock options and, a future that's very, very bright. Well, my response to that news was so surprising even to me. I just remember feeling like I was having an out-of-body experience. Why am I not thrilled with this news? It was the question going through my mind, and I just remember going back to my office and sitting down and trying to get in touch with that information and realizing that I didn't want the job. And I had a war with myself while I was sitting in my office. What do you mean you don't want the job? How could you not want this? This is phenomenal. And I came to the conclusion that I would give myself some time to see if I felt differently. And if I didn't, then I would leave. And interestingly enough, during that time period, instead of doing the right things, I'm going to put that in air quotes, like thinking about what would come next and, well, if I don't want to do this, what do I want to do? I completely ignored the dilemma I was in and put my head down and worked like a crazy person, as I had always done. And then this day came, and I realized I don't feel any differently. My time is up. My clock is up that I'd set for myself. And I'm going to tell my boss that I'm going to be resigning. And to say he was shocked was an understatement, but more importantly, he kept offering me other jobs. How about this one? What about that? Have you thought about maybe you want to do this thing? And I kept saying no. I couldn't find a way to say yes. And I realized now, in retrospect, doing the work that I do now, that I didn't have the language